The road was long, the nights were cold, chasing shadows, truths untold. I wore the name, I played the part, but even hunters lose their heart. The past is in the past, the echoes fade so fast. The dead are dead, the gone are gone, and I must carry on. Unlock your reality, tear down the veil. Truth rides a storm like a wind on the trail. No cape, no mask, no hero's home. The predator hunter is no more. All that's left is a man unknown. I stood in fire, I walked through pain, for voices lost in silent rain. They called me myth, they called me ghost, but I was real when it mattered most. No chains can hold me now, no lies will break me down. The masks they wear, they can't outlast the man who's left when storms have passed. Unlock your reality, tear down the veil. Truth rides a storm like a wind on the trail. No cape, no mask, no hero's home. The predator hunter is no more. All that's left is a man unknown. I gave it all, I walked alone, a soul of thunder, skin like stone. They'll never know the price I paid, but in the dark I found my way. Unlock your reality, live what is true. No more disguises, no more deja vu. Erase the legend they once thought they owned, 'cause the predator hunter is no more, and what remains is a man unknown.
Good morning, everyone. How is everyone this morning? I'll tell you what, lightning bolts in the chat. You can hear me, guys. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. Give me 1 second here. Let me adjust something here. I had to put me a hoodie on. It's kind of cold. So a lot of people is asking me, don't forget. Okay, so let me see here. I'm gonna answer all this. Okay. Yeah, late so many people. Something must have really happened last night, I tell you. I got in pretty late last night. We was running some skips. We went and we were kind of done some spot checks. And I got in and I noticed that I had a notification on YouTube. And I kind of saw Cyrax where he had made a video. And I guess everybody picked up on it. Now I'm not familiar with that group over there and that community. It's a different community than what I'm used to. So I was trying to think. I kind of thought maybe something had went on and I missed it. So I saw where everybody else had been commenting on it, and I was like, "Wait a minute, what is it?" Lips needs to borrow a hand or something. A finger will do. Oh no, he removed it. But here's the thing. I think in order to get down to what's necessary, I have invited Cyrax over tonight. And again, I'm not trying to come at somebody in a hard manner. I'm not. This will be professional. I will take it from step one, no matter how long it takes. Now, I'm not going to attack him in any way, form, shape, or fashion. But I do want to hear what he has to say. I want to hear what he has to say. Now, I do understand that there's a lot of people who know this guy and they report on him daily. I'm thinking that this could be something very useful in the future. Now, I did contact some people I know toward Akron, Ohio, in that location. And there's a pretty well known bounty hunter, Doyle Bell Bonds Company up that way that I know, and I contacted them. And if need be, we will have their support on working that location. The thing about it is, Cleveland, I already have connections in Cleveland. And that's around about an hour or something so away, 40, 50 minutes, anyways. We actually have a couple people in our group that are around maybe 10 minutes from Akron. So it all works out great. It works out great. Um, Again, I want to go over Cyrax. I want to go over Operation Cyrax. This is pretty much it. This is what I want to do. I want to check something out. Something, and here's the thing: I've never watched none of his videos. Never watched his videos. Do not know him. I've heard about it, but I do not know him. I want to see what makes him tick. I want to see what makes Cyrax Cyrax. Now, I don't know what we're going to lead into, what we're going to get into until we have a sit down interview with Cyrax. Now, I do understand he likes to porn bomb, so there will be a screen up and it will be appropriate to fit the situation and the interview. And I'm pretty sure if he'll answer my questions, if he will answer my questions, we will get a lot finished. A lot of it will be finished. Now, I also know that there's going to be a lot of people in chat on this. I will have the people. I will have the people ask questions. If you have a question, please, when the time comes, which will be periodically throughout the show, and we'll see what we can do. Now he has the right not to answer if he wants. If he does not want to, he can. He don't have to answer. Okay, I'm just not going to put him to that. But I will treat it as if I'm working an investigation and an interrogation. I will kind of treat it in that manner, except I will not be aggressive unless push comes to shove. Now, I'm being nice, trying to treat everyone with respect. I think this has got a great potential for a great show. Again, I'm coming at this new and fresh. I don't know the guy. I've only heard about the guy. I did get to see a little bit of the video that someone else had recorded or streamed. It was sent to me and he addressed me. He was telling me that I cannot touch him. The fact of the matter is, anyone can touch anyone at any given time. Now, legally, can anyone touch him? It depends on what his actions is. It depends on what he's doing. It depends on the circumstances, the situation. So, will we do this in a correct manner? I hope we do. Mandy, I haven't even got to do that. I'm coming at this fresh. And the reason I don't want to watch something, I want to test my skills out. I want to see if I still have what I used to have, pretty much. Because if I don't have it, I need to go back and pick it back up because I'm going to be needing it. Now, it will give me a chance, Terry. It will give me a chance. I don't know none of the accusations. I don't know. I just hear that this guy is what William told me and Katie's. That's it. That's all I know. Now, I did read some comments, and there was a lot of people. A lot of people. I understand that, Mandy. But again, I also understand what I do. The questions will be there. Whether or not he decides to answer will be him. But we all know if you don't answer, what the deal is. The questions will be tailored to part where it's simple. There will be no mixed up questions where there could be two different answers. There'll be one answer and one answer only. Yes or no. Now, if he feels like elaborating on his yes or no answers, he'll have that opportunity. I may ask a follow up. If I ask a follow up and he decides he don't want to answer or take part in that follow up question, that's him. We will have our people ready and we will see what happens. Now, there may be another agent who joins me during this. I don't know as of now if that will be happening, but it may likely happen. Just letting everyone know. But we will both be respectful. We will not be talking out of turn. When one person talks, the other one will mute out or be extremely quiet. We don't want no confusion, no misunderstanding. It's that. Any questions right now? It will be around 8 o'clock tonight. But you guys can ask me any question whatsoever you wanna. If you have a question, please answer. Please ask me. I feel that asking questions is the way to do it. someone had asked me probably what kind of questions, and I'll give you an example of something easy that that's not whether it's a criminal investigation or not, but something like a therapy or a journalistic interview. I'm not going to go too far in maybe unless now listen, unless I can turn it unless it needs to be. But here's the thing. There's simple things. There's simple things. There's different questions. There's different questions that you could do it. Um, you know, from a background view about it. Let's see something that's gonna. I'm not gonna go so far into triggering somebody's motivations. I won't do that. And that would be questions that you guys can have, that you guys can ask. You know, uh, one of my questions is, I'll just be honest with you, urges. A lot of people don't understand what urges are. When it comes to the psychological mind, urges is with anything. It don't matter if you're a child predator, if you're a serial killer, if you're just an enthusiast. Urges, we all have those urges. It just depends on what type of urges we have. Another part about it, a lot of people don't understand is, what do you feel? How do you feel? Do you feel that you're the one that's being looked at? There's a few different questions that can actually really be brought up. You see, a lot of these questions that I'm getting to is an actual form of interrogation we use. Now, I don't know if you guys know, but there are different types of the way we do this. Does anyone understand that? There's different ways we can go with this. We have to be smart. That's the first thing. So I'm not going to go into. I'm not going to go in. I'm not going to tell. I'm not going to go into like an accusatory. An accusatory situation is an accusatory interrogation. That means that I'm automatically looking. My goal. You have to. Okay, so you have goals that are set, and you all know that I love to set goals on anything I do. I'm not trying to set him up. Already told him you're trying to set him up. We're going to go ahead and ban the witch. We're going ahead and ban the witch. Thank you. I'm not trying to set him up. I want him to understand that. I'm not. I'm not going to go into an accusatory interrogation. That means my main goal is not to see a confession from him. That's not what my main goal is. Not at all. My tactics that I use on this will be simple. I will not I will not present any sort of evidence, real or fabricated. I will not do that. I will not isolate the suspect. I will not use my psychological pressure. I promise. I will not do that. And the reason why is as simple as this. For due process for this, I'd have to be contracted on this guy. I'm not. I don't have any I don't have anything in this as of now. Nothing. This is something that, hey, I'm doing just to see for myself, and it's something that people have asked me to do. It's as simple as that. Now, will I do information gathering interrogation? Possibly. Now, if you're not familiar with that, It's called a peace model. Will I use the peace model? Yes, for a fact. Because it's used throughout different countries. One being the biggest country that it's used throughout is the UK. The UK uses what's called the peace model. Um, Everything I do tonight will be working in an engage and explain. There'll be an account. It will all be free narrative, and everything will be from him, not me. If he wants to talk about something, more power to it. He will have the panel. He will have a platform from which he can say, hey, look, this happened, this happened, that happened. I was accused of this, this, and that. And trust me, people, I know how to get certain things. You guys have seen that before in the past for me. You know, I will not use the Sue technique. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Sue technique of interrogation, but it stands for strategic use of evidence. That's Sue, SUE. It's called the Sue technique. Strategic use evidence. I will not use that against him. I promise you, and I'll give him my word, I will not. However long he wants to stay, it's up to him. We will have a professional interview. Now, I will not, will no way, form, or fashion use coercive or forced interrogation. It will not be that. Because reason I believe, and I know I've seen it used, I've watched it used, I've used it before in the past. And I'm not proud of that because it's illegal and it's unethical. And I will not ever use that. Someone asked me a while ago in chat, one of my team members, Ernie, will you be using the HUMINT? The HUMINT part of the interrogation. Will I use the HUMINT? Will I extract? Yes. Will I build? Yes. Will I use uh oh my god, tactics and Rappaport? Maybe, maybe, but it will not be to a point to where I'm interrogating this guy to say, "Hey, you're a pedophile." No, I will not do that. As a matter of fact, if anyone's ever watched any of my work, you'll see I do use what we call the Columbo effect. That's one of my major go-tos. Um, will I treat him like he's in custody? No, I will not. He has the right to abort at any given time. And if he feels uncomfortable, he can say, hey, I don't want to do this. I don't want this question. And where are we going? Anyone who comes in chat and acts stupid, the mods will time them out. I do not want you to ban anyone. Everyone has their voice. Everyone has the right to their opinion. For this special occasion tonight, I want to do it one time and one time only. One and done. It's a one and done thing. Now, if you have any questions, just be respectful. Don't come out and act stupid. Put your questions in a professional manner and ask them in a professional way. You will be heard. if you do something stupid, and you know what I mean, I don't have to go through all the thousand things that you could do stupid. You will be placed in timeout for an allotted time. Now, let's practice. Let's practice here. Let's practice right now. I've got a lot of you in here right now. Yes, yes, Casey. If you come in and you want to use your finger as toilet paper, well, guess what? Something bad's going to happen. Okay. Now, the Iraqs is more than welcome if he's in chat. I don't have an email for him, of course. But of course, he addressed me, so I figured I'd address him. I do not do anything behind the scenes. Everyone knows that, especially on these matters like this. I address them in front of the people. I have nothing to hide. He has nothing to hide. That's the way it should be. So, I'm going to teach you all something that I learned a long time ago. It's very, very good. It's called Peace versus Read. Shazzy Bear. We're not going to talk. We're not going to call people names. We're going to find out everything that's going on with this man. Now, we're going to use a peace model versus a read technique. Now, there's two different types. If you've ever studied interrogation, you'll know what I'm talking about. The peace model comes from the United Kingdom back in the 1990s. And of course, the read technique is from the United States all the way back into the 40s. Now, I know. And I'll watch out everything. We're all secure. But I want to hear from this man. I want to hear from this man. I'm not worried about no deformities. I've interviewed a lot more people who have more deformities than anything like that. I'm not worried about that. I want to give this man a chance. I want to start it off in a nice manner. And I want to show you. Do you remember the Don interview? Everyone plays my interview with him. There's methods, there's ways, there's tone of voice. There's a lot of things that you other YouTubers do not have at your arsenal. There's a lot of things that you're not capable of doing. And it's not because you're not smart, it's because of the training. Now, later on, I will, when memberships get to going, I will offer training on these levels. You do understand that, right? I will offer investigative training. I will offer interrogation training. I will do this. Now, everyone thinks that I'm entering. This is a good question, Beth Ann. Everyone thinks that I'm entering into the world of a different community of Katie and William. Their theories. I'm not. And that's why I said I've not watched any of his shows. I want to see for myself. I want to see for myself. And I want to show the people while doing that. And let you all judge me. Thank you. Let's see. I'm out if he sings. Why are you entered? Okay, so let's see. Yes, I did a Don interview too, Ernie, and had to talk civil. It made me feel grimy. Well, the fact of the matter is, I let someone else release mine. I understand that. The thing I did with Don was the water. People ask me about the water. Now, the Wickland. Oh my God. Are you telling me that? Okay, so let me get over this. Let me get over this first. Let me get over this first, okay? And then we'll talk about other methods that can be used. Uh, I think that in order to understand other methods, like right now, we're going over read. We're going to go over the read. Do you guys agree on that? We're going to go over the read technique. So if we go over the read technique, which is used in the U.S., and I noticed that, which it's common sense with what Flight Nurse just said. Let me read this back here. How about the Wicklander and Zulawski method? I've not heard that in a long, long time, but it's called the WZ for short, and that's pretty much it's not confrontational. It's pretty much a relaxed a relaxed effort. Now, anyone that specializes in investigative techniques and investigations can tell you the biggest thing about the most thing about Wicklander, if you really want to go about that. And that's kind of the approach I'm going to take. Um, I hadn't got to that yet. That was actually something I was going to bring up. Um, we have a we call it the purpose on purpose, or the purpose for purpose. Now, if you look up purpose for purpose and you say purpose for purpose and then say similarities with the Wicklander or Zulawski, the methods for that, you're not going to automatically start by accusing someone. That's something that Griff would automatically do right off the bat. I'm not doing that. I get I get more out of my methods and the way I was trained than I do with any other ones. When you offer someone multiple pathways instead of just one and guide them, constantly guiding them and pushing them toward that one pathway, you're not going to get much at all. Uh, no, I'll be fine. I've got it covered. If Griff is mad at me, then he's got problems. I don't know. I have nothing against Griff. Um, Griff changes his mind just like anyone would change clothes. Okay, now, so if I'm going to use, say, a multiple pathway, and I'm saying, well, let's go back to what we're talking about. We're not going to get into no kind of behavioral analysis or anything like that because I believe Homelander would be the best for that, to be honest with you. When we get into the things I do, is a lot different than other people and what they do and how they believe in oil. So I'm not going to get into that part. I'm going to stay pretty much with what I know that's going to work. Um, and I think my peace model and the read technique, some parts of it will work. Um, my planning and knowing how to engage, how to get that closure, I'm going to use that. I'm going to use that to the best of my abilities, guys. Um, I will not be using FCR. I'll let everyone know that when it comes to using FCR, I will not be using that. I will not be using UOD. And let me go over this again. Now, now we all know that CRAs, FCRAs is a form of background checks. It's a form of credit history, things of that. I will not use that against him. And I want to come in this fresh. This is a different type. So I will not use no UOD, and that's use of deception. I will not use that. Um, Ernie, will you use it as LU? Uh, no, I will not use it as LU because I'm not on this man's case. In order for me to fill out a form of release or something like that, that goes too much. No, I will not do that because could I possibly do it? Yes, but I will not. I give my word I won't. So, will I be using PEACE? Peace. Yes, 1,000%. I will use peace. Now, people that don't know what peace means, I'm going to tell you. It means for planning, engage, account, closure, and then evaluation. That's PEAC. I use a lot of acronyms. If you guys know for code, Tiger, for example, is code. Do y'all remember that? Now, here later on during the week, it's come to my attention that my time for this is running out. And I understand that. A lot of people are starting to catch on. A lot of people are starting to catch on. I'm not your average YouTuber. I'll be the first one to say that. Now, I have done things in my life. I know a lot of people say, hey, wait a minute. This here's that, this is that, and they try to put stuff in anywhere it fits, anywhere it fits. But I'm going to start releasing information about me and who I am and why every time all these law enforcement are called on me or all these investigations are done on me, why I'm cleared. I will release that this week. I want you all to know that. I think it's time for people to start understanding that, hey, there are some people out here in the world, no matter how bad you think they are and what you try to put them up to be, they've done just a little bit more. Now, am I bragging? By no means am I bragging. I fell into this stuff by accident. I never wanted to be a part of any of this stuff, any of it. But you cannot help what family you're born into. So that's all I'm going to say. Now, when it comes to my family, I love my family. But there are parts of my family on the outside, skirts of my family that are not good people. They're not good people. You're not the average. So somebody asked me, will I use the typical use? No. So Jay, I know what you're talking about on that, but no, I will not. I'll use steps and we'll use peace. We'll go through the whole steps of preparation, engage, explain, account, closure, evaluation. We'll do that. We'll just stick with peace. I think that will be good for Cyrax. I think Cyrax can. I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with you. After this is over, this might open up a new venue. This might open up uh, a new world for Cyrax. Again, Now, you're not the average man. We love you, Ernie. I know you all do, and I love you guys as well. But I have deceived a lot of people when it comes to exactly how much and what I really do know. And I'm going to say that. And I don't like it. I don't think it's right. Um, I have used my training and my skill level in ways that I should never used. And I'm being straight out with everybody. Do I like it? Am I happy with it? No, I'm not. Um, when you're developing theme development, you do things that are not right. Let's just say, let's say we take, okay, so we branched off into a little bit about the read technique, and WZ, which, you know, we're going to use short term. We're going to use short term. Okay. So, like the read technique, WZ, which is the Zulawski and all that, uses themes. Okay. It's like stories that's justify or they can minimize wrongdoing. A lot of child predators use those such stories. They and again, any interrogation you go upon that is a huge case that's made it outside, that's, world case about a child predator or any sort of person along that lines. The way investigators, if you watch investigators when they investigate these people, they don't come out and say, "Oh, you're a nasty motherfucker. You do," they don't do that. They don't talk about that. They're like simple. So you did this. So you did that. Wow, and here's the thing: you'll hardly a good investigator. You'll never hear the word why until the end, because if you have why, then you have the hypothesis. You have okay. So I'm going into too much. I'm going to wait. I'm going into a whole hell of a lot more than I should be right now. So there'll be no deception. Let's just say there will be no deception. I will not trick him. I will not try to do anything that tricks his mind or anything. I will not use that route. Um, what I want to do is kind of verbally align pretty much everything's less harmful. It's going to be less harmful. Thank you. Now, there's a few things that somebody's asked me in chat, messenger, and hold on a second. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Okay, so what I'm wanting to do is with this is I'm kind of wanting to establish what's called a baseline. If we can get in a baseline, we'll know a lot more. So with that, that's just asking neutral questions and seeing where it goes. Now, I've noticed that Cyrax, he, we'll talk about it tonight. We'll talk about it tonight. I don't want to give anything away. I want to come into it fresh, new, and getting to the point. Let's see, Charlie, what we got here. Okay. Ugh. Dale, no, I will not do PSL. And I think people will understand what PSL is tonight. And I'll go over this again tonight before we start while Cyrax is on panel. That way, nothing can be saying, hey, this is going to be behind his back. This is going to hit him from nowhere. No, that's not going to happen. Not going to happen. I will not surprise him with anything. Now, am I saying that he may not be surprised? No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying I will not hit him with something that puts him in a situation where he has to answer it. I will not do that. All I can do is say, hey, if you don't want to answer that question, you don't want to answer that question. But I will say this. If you decide not to answer that question, people may look at you in a way to say, hey, wait a minute, this question was asked, and I could easily answer that question. Why can't you answer that question? And then we're going to go from there. This will not be no fucked up Tina Simmerly interview, okay? I'm letting you guys know that. This has nothing to do with Predator Hunter Nation. This has nothing to do with any of their affiliates, which I am not affiliated with anything to do with Predator Hunter Nation. I'm letting everybody know that right now. I was once the original owner. That's in the past. That's all I'm saying. Now, will you be repetitive? No, I will not be repetitive. There will be no repeat questions, even though a lot of people say, hey, well, the repeat questions rephrased and asking another way really do help. I'm not going to do that. Unless him himself, Cyrax, wants to go that route. Now, I can sit here and I can hold this live up and I could hold the whole damn place up all day long. But I'm pretty sure that you guys are ready to do what you want to do, watch these other creators because they start coming on around 12, 1, noon. So, bro, can't wait. It's awesome to show reality. It is reality. But it also shows my character and it shows my skill level. And I want people to understand that. I don't care for the read due to coercive mythology. And exactly. And that's why I'm going to take bits and pieces out of the read, and then I'm going to take some out of the Zulowski as well. So if I take out a WZ, which is non-confrontational, which I want to be, and I add just a little bit of read, mate, just a little bit of read, a little bit of 1940s in there, and then I take. How do I really want to do this without giving away too much now? Because you're making me. You seem like you're pretty smart, and I don't know exactly if you study stuff like this, but if I take peace and I use peace, peace is the main thing that I'm going for. And again, if we go for peace, we're going to have it. We're going to have everything anyways. Do you believe that? I mean, I do 100%. And I do appreciate that. Thank you so much. That's the best way to do it. And I honestly believe that. If we use Wicklander, we're gonna get anything and everything we want anyways. But if we add just a little bit of structure to it, uh, what you eating, beloved ghost? Did you give me some food? No, you have not gave me no food. I see how it is. But going back to it, if we use peace, we're gonna be a lot better off. Okay, if we, you know, prepare, engage, use the account, which is free narrative, is what that is. Closure and evaluation. We're gonna be a lot more. We're gonna have a lot more. Now, I switched up careers 8 years. Well, that's wild, Flat Nurse. That's pretty crazy. Um, I caught something. This ain't about you and everything, but nothing bad. But when you messaged me on Messenger once before, I caught something about you, and it kind of stuck out to me. I'm not going to say on here, but we can talk later if you want to. My email is shellforce@gmail, and you do have my Messenger anyways. So it's probably, I think I got a new one now. I don't even know. I had too many. I just didn't like all that attention. And I do understand a lot of you all want to hide your identities. Then you can make fake accounts and come in under something. But the rules will apply to you as everyone else. Now, if Cyrax would email me, I would appreciate that. Shellforces@gmail.com. Again, I would not dox him. I would not dox no information that I have on him. I won't do anything like that. I'm coming in it from a fresh start. And that's where I'm gonna be at. That's what I mean. That's the way I've got to do this, guys. I'm not gonna believe nobody what people says until the man gets to talk to me. So, um, will I be using ASQ? Okay, for you guys who don't know what ASQ is Ask Strategic Questions, which is ASQ. Ask, we call it Ask. Um, yes, I will. But he has the right to not answer if he don't want to. Will I use distance in language? You know what you son of a bitches are in Messenger right now doing? I know what you're doing to me. I know exactly what you're doing to me. Am I on test right now? Is this what this is? Is this the Dozier effect coming in? I mean, is this what we're doing here? Like, you assholes. No. But yeah, I'm glad you said you wanted to be on top of your game, Shell. Here's your chance, big boy. Answer the question. Okay, so distance and language. No, I will not use that. No, 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 no. It will be honest questions. Uh, this is uh, this is the Kentucky Capitol. So, will I use? So answering that question, somewhat, some not. I'm just going to say that. I had the same one I'm off today so far. Let me see what she says here. Singing at Anytime Nature of the Beast. Oh, okay. Uh, and here's the funny thing people don't get that, but my deceptive statements I use here sometimes when I say, to be honest, that's usually a deceptive qualifier, okay? So I'm giving you all information right now. I know Constant Sue is going to run wild with it, but at least you all will see that I am very smart. And I do use things in ways that, sometimes just for fun. Like me and Homelander was talking, and I was like, "You're right. You got me on this because he's very good on behavior." And he was like, "Hey, wait a minute. I've got something here. You don't have to answer." And I'm like, anytime somebody says you don't have to answer, guess what? You have to answer. It's as simple as that. So, yes, I have used that a lot. I can't believe what they get. To be honest, he is a use qualifier. It is. Well, open ended. sweetie, is like open-ended questions: who, what, when, where, how. You know, that's very important, and that, even in security, I learned that in my open-ended questions, like strategies and strategic, with strategic stealth, strategic silence, stuff like that, come in with security. So you, Homelander, well, if Homelander would be good to do this. No, I would not be using Darth Vader or Rambo. No, I would not. That's crazy. I love you guys. You guys are amazing. Um, you're going to use body language on him, aren't you? No, no. Look, guys, I'm not trying to convict this guy. I don't want to convict this guy of anything. This guy can talk to me freely, openly, and go from there. Will you be using let? Hey, Nicolina, how you doing? Dale, no, I'm not using let, and I'm glad these people don't know what lead is. No, I will not. Uh, I will use the most reliable approach. I think that'd be the best bet. Um, looking at, and this is where Homelander would really succeed at, is when we start looking at behavioral cues. Like verbal content, his consistency, just his consistency to answer questions on time. A lot of people don't understand. It's kind of like how I found out who William was, how I found out who William Glory Hole was. I used his time and his speed in his speech. Um, Now, I'm not going to say 1,000% right now that it's who it is, because I promised him I would not do that. But I am 87% sure as of right now. And I've only looked at this probably 2 hours. I still got 28, 29 more days. So, yes, I take this stuff very serious when needed to be, especially for amounts of money like that. Yeah, I'm going to, well, I understand that, and I do appreciate you sense a setup on it. I do understand that, but I'm going to be respectful. I'm going to be respectful about this. I will have all the appropriate things going with that. Um, so, well, let's just see what happens. Let's just see what happens. I wouldn't play around with William if I were you, Ernie. He don't play. I'm not trying to be his enemy. I'm not trying to be his enemy at all, Sun Beach. And I do understand that he has certain things, but I too also understand that if you go by what you all been taught that I have nothing. You're wrong. Oh, you're wrong about that. But we're going to find out, and we're going to do it in a way that we all learn. We learn from something. We have to learn from it, because if we don't learn nothing, well, guess what? It'll be kind of like us. It'll be kind of like me sitting up here trying to do anything and me not knowing what in the hell I'm doing. Me not understanding, Wicklander, Zulawski, Peace, and not understanding none of these methods or techniques. It's kind of like it would kill my structure. It would, without me using these, I wouldn't have a structured way. If I went up here like Mama T and I just said, "Listen here, bitch, you're gonna be doing this, bitch, and you're wrong, you're wrong," and I'm not getting the answers, and I'm not showing the people how we come to the conclusion, and then I'm going to be in trouble, because my rep is going to be on the line, and I'm going to have my people and my friends and my bounty hunter pals and future recovery agents and bail enforcement officers and a few different other law enforcements watching this. Now, for what I'm going into now with my contracts and my side job of understanding how to, pretty much route my way around all this, I can't just come in here and say, now, Cyrax, you're a bitch, you're ugly, you're this, you're that. Here you are jumping on your grandma. Here you are doing it. This gets nothing done. As a matter of fact, the questions that I will ask will make him himself tell you the story. That's the way we do this. If we get him telling the story, then guess what? I'm not there. I was not there. He was. He was the only person that was there. Now, everyone says he's inbred. Look, here's the thing about it. Maybe we'll get a good story out of him tonight. We'll find out. But I do know how to keep it in between the lines. In between the lines. Now, when you talk about those words in between the lines, what comes to your mind? What comes to your mind when I say in between the lines? Because this is very, very, very important. What is in between the lines when it comes to what we're talking about? So, in between the lines is the best way and the most powerful way to of when you're interrogating is detecting deception or a hidden meaning. It can tell me on what direction I want to go with that. Like, um, it's pretty much like a paying attention to, like just not to what's said, but how it's said. You see, I use a lot of that. I use a lot of that on YouTube. Now, it's kind of like what's omitted and what's implied. See, there's two words that I can bring out and use in my arsenal against anyone at any given time, especially with high stakes interviews, which I'm always in, you know. And if I'm using negotiations, look, if somebody says, hey, Shell, I've got you right now, this contract, we'll give you $1,800 right now, 2 days of work, $1,800 on this security program here. And I'm looking at it, and if I think it's something, you know, it's just pretty much a walk in the park, I'm gonna say, well, yeah, that's cool. But if I see something in there that I really don't understand too much, I'll say, wait a minute, let's do this. Since I don't understand this, you tell me what this is here. And then they'll say, oh, okay, well, you're going to be doing this. And I'll give you an example. When I deliver, most delivery places, they want you to be able to, you know, pretty much load the truck, unload the truck, and drive. I'm not doing that. It is kind of a train wreck, AVN. So I'm not going to do that. So what I'll do is I'll negotiate. Hey, look, I'll drive your product from point A to point B. Pick up, pick up the next product and drive from home. And we'll do it in a you know, kind of a consequential order. We'll do that. So I thought maybe if we do it that way, we can do it in a way that I can find out inconsistencies with a story. And I'm not saying it's just going to be Cyrax, but I can do that. Well, the thing about here's the thing: a lot of people, I see comments. I've never watched, guys. I'll honestly say this: last night when somebody showed me that he was addressing me, somebody sent me a clip of another person's because I didn't see his. Somebody sent me a clip of it, and I watched him say my name because he says it right off in the beginning. And I heard him talk about law enforcement and what law enforcement can and cannot do, and what we can and cannot do. Okay, and I understand he has been attacked or whatever. I understand that. I shut it off after that because I was thinking to myself, don't nobody let's listen to the comments unless they're stupid guys. Let's just see what happens. AVN guy, well, he is who he is. It's funny, but he is who he is. Um, like I'll say, I'll give you an example. Last night, some things were said, and then I thought to myself, I don't want to watch this because I want to do a show now on this. So I turned it off. I was already tired. I went live and I just pretty much told people, "Hey, I'm getting in." I don't look at nothing when I'm tired because we if we're tired and we look at it, we don't put as much into it as we should put into it. The attention's not really there than what we should put into it. Now, then we'll talk about that. Then we'll talk about that Sun Beach. I mean, there's a lot of things that we could talk about. But let me ask you a question, guys. When I talk about between the lines, that goes into so much. When you're between the lines, that's the barriers on each side. This is the thing that the Columbo affects, where a lot of people um, they leave out the key details, okay, to avoid being caught inconsistencies and um, in order to avoiding ownership. Let's just say that avoiding ownership of what's happened. Now, me, I'm probably one of the world's worst on YouTube for that. Because first, if I was talking to an official, I'm totally different than I am talking to a YouTuber. Uh, so me, I overemphasize. Okay, I'm giving you my stuff right now. That way, I can show to the people who do not like me that hey, this man is being honest because we can check this, we can verify this. I overemphasize. I do, or unnecessary justification. Now, I do that a lot. Like when I say honestly, to tell you the truth, believe me, um, it's unnecessary if the person is really being truthful, anyways. Interrogators look at that. When I say, well, to be honest about it, I'm telling you that, hey, I'm being honest, but I don't have to do that in order to do it anyways, so I should be honest anyways. So the chances are is I'm trying to double down and make someone really believe me. And probably 83% of that is going to be a lie. Now, I will say that Silly Wabbit, that's probably a bad mistake you did, but you know, it is what it is. People make mistakes all the time. Now, I don't think he's going to point bomb me because I think he's going to be understandable and we're going to talk. I mean, that's all we're doing. Um, now, I've gave out enough. Now, I gave out enough. I think this is going to be great. I hope everything goes well. Much respect to all you guys. And I may see you when I turn these files in today. I've got to go to the sheriff's department and I actually got to do some more stuff today. But if you guys, if I go live, you guys will know. But much respect. God bless you all. Thank you all for fighting a good fight. If you want to donate, donate. If you don't, don't. Simple as that. And no, I have not had breakfast yet. So yes, I'm going to try to get something to eat. Probably some Waffle House or something somewhere. Appreciate you guys. Thank you all for coming in. I hope you like the show. Have fun.
mission won't fail. He's the lightning tiger. He storms in for war. Tiger strength in his heart. Werewolf blood at the core. He's the child predator hunter with the purpose unbent. When shells on your tail, you better repent. Cypher stood bold, a shadow with schemes. But Shell's silent fury ripped apart his spleen. With strength of a super soldier, eyes fire and steel, he left